going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is TIMBP Live. We are here. Things are kicking off. My goodness. Thank you, everybody who is here an hour early as well. There was just too much to get through today to not go an hour early. So, what does that mean? That means we're streaming until 9 o'clock, baby. We're doing 2 hours tonight. You may be asking yourself, why 2 hours? Well, I'm going to tell you. Because I have this unfortunate little addiction that I have developed recently. And that, my friends, is the addiction to live streaming. That's right. For 3 days in a row, I went live. And it was one of the most thrilling experiences I've ever had. I am hooked. I am attached. I am addicted to streaming. Why 2 hours? Well, 2 hours because there is so much news and content that we have to get to. But also because over on twitch.tv/mybourbongamer, we are trying to make it to, what is it, like, what's below partner? It's like affiliate or something like that. So, trying to get new viewers, trying to boost the channel into the stratosphere. And that means that, yes, I will be streaming again this weekend on Twitch on Sunday. I will be over there at twitch.tv/mybourbongamer streaming for Mario Day. March 10th is Mario Day. You were there on the Twitch stream gaming. Yes, you were. It was over, and it was good to have you there. I'll go on Twitch. Well, Andrew, you do whatever you want to, my friend. You do whatever you want to. So, Sunday, maybe like 3 p.m. There he is over on on Twitch. Live and alive. So, Mario Gaming Stream, Mario Day. See you over there on Sunday. But it is not Sunday. It is Thursday. It is March 7th. It's hard to believe that we are already into March. Hard to believe that it's a weekend to March as well. My sister's birthday is coming up this weekend. Little Sarah's going to be 26 as she runs for political office for the first time. Very proud of her. She's doing awesome. I want to say hello to you folks in the chat. Mr. Darren Wright kicking things off. Darren, it is good to have you. Tater Dom. Hello, Tater Dom. Welcome in. Sugar Kitty says meow. And it's good to see you, Sugar Kitty. Look at this. When I was streaming, this might have been like a Friday, like last Friday, that they introduced this. I don't know. But now you got a little wrench through StreamYard next to your name. StreamYard's getting smart, man. They're figuring it out. Daniel Sutherland. Cheers, everyone. Cheers to you too, Daniel. Old WP himself, Wilmington Piper. Hello. Donnie the Linux Cat. Howdy. Howdy, howdy. Good to see you. And Zophar said it's only 4 p.m. It is only 4 p.m. over on the West Coast, but here on the East Coast, it is, in fact, 7:05. And Darren also says, hit that like button if you haven't yet. Yes, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as well. If you haven't, don't go unsubscribing or nothing. But if you want to support the show, you can do so by following that Stream Elements link that is in the description below and tipping the show through our method of super chats. It's called Snuffy Chats. It's in support of the main man himself, Mr. Snuffleupagus back there, the patron saint of TIMBP Live. He is here. And so is Jason, the Mash and Drum. What's up, Perry? Good to see you. Good to see you too, Jason. I hope you are well, my friend. Good to see you. You and your big Fred Minnick 3-hour live stream last night with Blend again, and hope that went well. I was talking with Jeffrey Wack last week. I was saying I am terrible at making other live streams, like watching other live streams. I'm so bad at it. I don't know why. It doesn't click most weeks. So I am sorry that I didn't make it to that last. Oh, I think I did hop into your stream for a little bit last week though, Jason. Sounds that was, as it's coming out of my mouth, it sounds familiar. At least. But anyway, I am going to get something poured up because I am thirsty. It has been a long week. It's just been, I try not to get in my head about I can't wait for Friday. I can't wait for the weekend. I try to enjoy the week as much as I possibly can. But good Lord, this was a week where I just could not wait for it to be Friday. And I am so happy that it just, I'm worn out, man. I'm worn out. Not too worn out, though, to grab something to pour before we get into the news. If y'all are drinking anything, I know it's a little bit early, but let me know what you are sipping on in the chat. Since I'm going to be doing this Bottled and Bond flight in a little bit. Hello, Biking Bourbon. Good to see you. Howdy, folks. Cheers, Perry. Cheers to you, too. Hope you've been well, friend. And in honor of, because I didn't go, I had intended to go live on Sunday afternoon for Bottled and Bond Day, but I was a little worn out from streaming for 3 days in a row. But it is still Bottled and Bond week, I suppose. So in celebration of that, I will drink on a little bit of the Ben Holiday 6-year-old Bottled and Bond. Jumped in last week for a hot minute. LOL, you have a little girl buddy. It's okay. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. I did. It's funny. It's funny that you say that, because when I hopped in to your stream last week, it was during bedtime. It was while we were trying to wrangle up Eden to get PJs on, and that did. It's just getting more and more difficult as time goes on. Joe Dickinson, cheers all. Hello, Joe. Hope you're well. Good seeing you. Folks, I gotta let you all know, too. I feel old. I've been dealing with knee pain for the past couple of weeks. The weather has set it off into oblivion recently. I forgot to change my banner. And so I made the rational decision to both purchase and begin wearing a knee brace. So I am wearing a knee brace right now, even as I sit, because my knee does hurt a lot. Four Roses single barrel, that sounds nice. We have the steepest steps down into our basement as well. And the thing is, I work down here. Like, this is also my workstation. This is where I do my 9 to 5. And so I have to. And the thing is, too, like, if I'm doing podcast stuff, I can't, like, pick everything up and just move it upstairs casually. It's all very much cemented here. Not, not 100% of the way, but it's a hassle. Knee problems are the worst. They do suck. Like, a lot. Like, they suck a whole lot. So I have to come down here for work. It's my lot in life. I was made to suffer. That's not true. I'm thriving. I feel good. I'm telling you, I feel alive. I feel good. Yes, my knee hurts, but it is what it is. So, I'd like to take a sip of some bourbon so we can kick off the evening together, and so we can get into this big old news stream. I do also have my flight poured up for later as well, so stick around for that. I'll probably get into that post news. Bourbon will fix that pain. Oh yes, it will. So, cheers, everybody. Ooh. This holiday has gotten a little bit cornier the longer that it's been open. At least on the very front end of the palate. It's very dark and delicious on the back end. I'm not upset about it. Hey, also, don't know if anybody has, who here in the chat has listened to this week's episode, but I had to do a solo episode this week because Eric was in Disney with his wife, April, and I thought it went really well. It's not doing super well. The numbers are not the best on it. I think it's doing weirdly good on YouTube, and not as good on actual podcast platforms. So if you haven't listened yet, please do. It's good. It's a fun episode. Whew. All right, folks. Let's get into it. Hold on. Here we go. Got a lot of news to get to. Got a lot of things that we have new and increasingly busy activities going on in the bourbon world. But first and foremost, from the fine folks over at Old Forester, they've named a new assistant master distiller. Dadgummit, Courier Journal. I love you, but your website is garbo. Fix it. Old Forester has named Caleb Trigo as Assistant Master Distiller, overseeing quality and innovation for America's oldest bourbon brand. Daggone it. Trigo will be responsible for overall quality control and distillery operations, in addition to providing technical leadership and supporting brand advocacy efforts. Caleb has been with Brown-Forman since 2009. He is not unfamiliar with Old Forester either. He has been an operations leader at the distillery for 5 years, or he spent over 5 years doing that. Said, I am both honored and humbled to step into the role of Assistant Master Distiller, safeguarding and bolstering the founding brand of our company. Chris Morris also said, he said, making the best bourbon takes passion, time, and careful attention to quality. I am honored to study under the leadership of Chris Morris, one of the most admired master distillers in the world. Chris Morris said, I have admired Caleb's skills and his determination to improve his knowledge and skill level since he came into our company as a co-op during his college years. He will help lead Old Forester to new heights. Now, you may be asking, why am I bringing this up top? Assistant Master Distiller. Who cares about the Assistant Master Distiller? I care about the Assistant Master Distiller, especially when they are already putting out new product. The Old Forester 117 series High Angel Share. This is these bottles that come in 375s. This was released yesterday. This limited edition whiskey is the result of low-yield barrels, providing consumers with a taste of this specific facet of the aging process and resulting in a rich, layered concentration. Bottled at 110 in a 375 milliliter bottle. And there's Caleb again. David Jeanette, what's up? Hope you're well. Thank you for being here. It was offered in very limited quantities for purchase today at the Old Forester Distillery at $60 a bottle, and it was available online in a 2-bottle set for $120. Man, if that is not expensive for 375s. Only thing of course, this is nothing new with Old Forester. This 117 series is still an ongoing kind of mini release that they do. But people eat it up, man. They love it. And I think it's really nice that Old Forester does this thing too, to kind of like help show just how innovative they can be, or at least kind of like remind people that there are special things going on behind the scenes, even if you don't always know it. Not saying that other distilleries don't do that as well, but in this case, Old Forester, who is pretty well known for sticking to their guns, not changing a whole lot. I will say they've been very adventurous with their releases recently, and I think that this High Angel Share release is definitely not to be slept on as far as considering their ability, dadgummit, with all these ads, but their ability to think outside the box. Cal Ripken Jr. has made a bourbon. He's made a bourbon, but not in the way that you think that he would. Is this your stereotypical method of celebrities releasing a whiskey? No, this is not. This is quite different. Cal and his team went to Maker's Mark to check things out. They did do a private selection that features about 248 bottles autographed by Cal and Bill, his brother. The baseball icons personally crafted the blend of bourbon, which will be available to baseball coaches from across America who register their teams to play at the Ripken Experience, Elizabethtown, in 2024. That is Elizabethtown, Kentucky, by the way. Bill and I had a lot of fun with the Maker's Mark team on the Bourbon Trail in beautiful Kentucky, Ripken Jr. said in a news release. The end result will be a unique piece of memorabilia for some of our coaches that will remind them of their baseball memories in Elizabethtown for years to come. Joseph Brazo, I'm here streaming, my friend. Early indeed, but it is good to see you. I hope you are doing well. Now, I am a baseball fan. I very much would like to be able to procure a bottle of this Cal Ripken Jr. Maker's Mark Private Select. I was trying to figure out who this gentleman was for a second. It's Bill Samuels. They didn't include him in the caption. Anyway. Just got back from Spokane with my new car. Were you Spokane with the manager? About a great deal on a new or used vehicle? Yeah, we'll stick with that. Mazda CX-9 Grand Touring. Nice. Anyway, I'm a baseball fan, but I am not currently coaching a baseball team and would not be able to take a team to the Ripken Experience Elizabethtown. So, if you or someone you know has a baseball team and they're looking to sign up for the Ripken Experience Elizabethtown and they don't like bourbon, holla at your boy, because I want one of those. Very much so. Woodford Reserve has released their new edition of Batch Proof. This one at 121.2 proof. Barrels drawn from the upper floors of our heat-cycled warehouses tend to possess higher proof presentations, including this limited edition batch, Master Distiller Elizabeth McCall said in a news release. Batch proof allows consumers to taste Woodford Reserve exactly as it comes out of the barrels. Limited quantities at Woodford with a suggested retail price of $150 a bottle. I have seen quite a few places in central Kentucky that have had these Woodford batch proof releases for retail and anywhere up to about 2 times the MSRP, so $300. It's a pass for me at that price. No matter how good this is, but I have heard increasingly good things about batch proof over the past few years. So hopefully we can try it. If not, it'll just be another release in the rear view mirror of TIMBP. Woodford has also launched a new fashion collection. The Flavor Notes collection with Sergio Hudson and Anifa Wimba. Wimba? I am not sure how to pronounce it. They have created fashion for everyone from Michelle Obama to Beyonce and will design pieces for the Woodford Reserve Flavor Notes collection, which is inspired by the flavors and craftsmanship of the whiskey. The collaboration will debut at the 150th Kentucky Derby presented by Woodford Reserve, where Hudson and Wimba will be in attendance along with their muses wearing pieces from each designer's collection. Very cool. I would encourage you to go look at their other work as well. They're very, very talented. Very, very talented with their design work. Speaking of Woodford Reserve, their 2024 Kentucky Derby bottle has been unveiled. It is pulling from the official artwork. Got to run back to work. Fonzo, thank you for being here, regardless. It is pulled from the artwork for the main poster of the Kentucky Derby. Created by Wiley Cottle. Why am I bringing up Wiley Cottle? Well, if you've listened to this week's episode, you know that I am actually familiar with Wiley because we went to the same college. He makes incredible artwork. He is extremely well known around Kentucky and is getting a larger and larger presence currently. And he's incredible. He does really, really fantastic work. And this might be the first year that I buy a Derby bottle because I know the person that actually did the artwork for it. Woodford Reserve, the presenting sponsor of Kentucky Derby, is honoring the most exciting 2 minutes in sports with the release of its 2024 commemorative Derby bottle. This is the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby, and it features the artwork of Kentucky native Wiley Cottle, known for his bold, repetitive patterns and his signature roses. His painting, adorned in roses, depicts a racing thoroughbred covered with red roses with a background of multicolored roses. The 1 liter bottle retails for $55 and is available for purchase globally. I mean, not only, I think it's genuinely a good piece of work. I think it looks spectacular. There's Wiley. Is this one of those where I would just be grabbing a bottle I probably would never drink? Yeah, more than likely. More than likely. But that's okay. I mean, you got to have some of those sometimes. It's not the worst thing in the world. Some bottles can be display pieces. And this would 100% be one for me. Matthew Lillard has put out a bourbon. You know Matthew Lillard. He was Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. He was in Scream. He was in the Twin Peaks revival. The man's done it all. The bourbon is known as Quest's End Rogue. This is the second bourbon that was put out by Matthew Lillard. Hackers. Oh, I know what you're saying. I got you now, Justin. The initial release, Paladin, was a 50% ABV blend of sourced bourbons that was released online in early October. Also, Justin, good to see you. Sorry, I didn't mean to gloss over that. So 100 proof. Quest Inn doesn't disclose information about its whiskeys, but at a glance, Rogue is nearly identical to its predecessor, Paladin. Both are blends of Kentucky and Indiana bourbons, sourced from undisclosed distilleries and aged for at least 4 years. The difference between the two seems to lie in the desired flavor profile. Paladin was blended to showcase vanilla and fruit alongside some spicier notes. Rogue, which is bottled at 49.15% ABV, which is 98.3 proof, is said to have a fruitier profile with a green and herbaceous finish. It was released as a love letter to fans of Dungeons & Dragons, the tabletop game that counts Lillard as an avid fan. The bottle art, which draws inspiration from the D&D rogue player class that also inspired this whiskey's name, was designed by artist Tyler Jacobson. Has a suggested retail price of $150. $150 for Rogue. Which is blends of 4-year-old bourbon from Indiana and Kentucky. Now, I don't know if you caught this or not, but 9,500 bottles. Now, if we do the math right quick as well. If we do the math of 9,500 bottles, each retailing for $150, that is bringing in, just on this one release, $1.4 million. $1.4 million. That's so much money. That is so much money off of this one release. I mean, good for them, get that bag. But my goodness. I don't think I'll be getting one of these. I would love to interview Matthew Lillard, though, if he wants to come on the podcast. But little too far out of my price range, unfortunately. More good news as well. The Blanton's Gold Barrel Charity Sweeps from Sazerac raised $1 million for St. Jude's research. Stakes were high as the dangling carrot just happened to be a barrel of Blanton's Gold, and it gets better. A VIP on-site experience at Buffalo Trace, all for a $100 ticket entry. Very cool. I thought about the glass looks pricey too. Yeah. I thought about doing a stream last weekend where all of our snuffy chats would go towards a collective ticket for this. I think that would have been fun. The winner of the Blanton's Gold Charity Sweepstakes will receive a VIP behind-the-scenes tour at Buffalo Trace Distillery for the winner and up to 7 of their guests, a private barrel selection experience where the winner will thieve, taste, and select their barrel, $20,000 prize. which may be used to purchase personalized bottles yielded from the selected barrel. Love that. I love that little... It's like, hey, you know, we're going to give you $1,200 or $20,000. And you can do whatever you want to with it. But we here at Sazerac highly encourage you to take that lump sum and maybe reinvest it in Sazerac. They've got like a gun pointed. Like, now let's do the right thing here. You could invest in your kid's college fund. Take that $20,000. Or we here at Sazerac LLC would absolutely love it if you just gave us that check right back. How does that... Would you consider it? Would you be so kind as to give us that money back? We really need it. We all of a sudden found ourselves $20,000 short. Do you have 20 grand to spare? Maybe it's just a gift card. You're the one Sazerac intern who has to go to... You go to Kroger at the checkout line and you get one of the Visa gift card, the prepaid gift cards. And you're like, hey, I need to buy one of these. And they're like, how much do you want to put on it? They're like, oh, $20,000. A gift card to their shop? I mean, yeah. But could you imagine? They also get a private lunch at Buffalo Trace and the empty barrel. I mean, that's a pretty sweet... That's a pretty sweet prize package. I gotta be honest. But just remember, manager needed a checkout. You go to the you go to like the pawn shop with your $20,000 Sazerac gift card. And they're like, look, man, the best I could do for it is $1,200. You're like, well, I only had $100 invested in this anyway, so I guess I made a little bit back.
Manager needed a checkout. Manager needed a checkout. Aisle 3.
We just really need that money. It's just... we got another new release this week. New Riff. Bottled in bond. 8-year-old bourbon. New Riff Distilling unveils 8-year-old bourbon whiskey. It is the oldest bourbon yet released in an unprecedented first fruit of initial whiskeys. Set back for further aging, available beginning March 8th, a nod to the age of the whiskey. This edition is the newest installment to New Riff's core product lineup. New Riff on a coveted classic. This 8-year-old expression of New Riff's award-winning flagship bourbon is bottled without chill filtration at 100 proof in a mash bill of 65% corn, 30% rye, and 5% malted barley. I do believe that's their typical mash bill. As much acclaim as we have received from the bourbon community for our 4-year-old bottled and bond and single barrel offerings, we knew the real excitement would come from genuinely older whiskey, said co-founder Jay Erisman. And here it is, the beginning of the future and the next wave of New Riff. I personally am very excited for this. Because, not this coming week, but the week after, we are going to be interviewing the master distiller of New Riff. They're newly announced. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks, I believe. But yes, Brian, the master distiller over at New Riff, is going to be on the show very soon, and a good chance that we're also going to be trying this before too long. It has a suggested retail price of $68. That feels like a steal. That genuinely feels like they could have charged way more for this bottle. Am I complaining? Heck no! Am I happy? Absolutely! $68 for 8-year-old bottled and bond bourbon? What are we doing? That's amazing. It is now available for pre-sale ordering with pickup at the distillery gift shop beginning Friday, March 8th. It will be available for online ordering and shipping beginning March 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and across New Riff's national distribution network in the coming weeks. So, WP, Wilmington Piper, wish we could get that here in North Carolina. You might not have to fret about that. You might be able to just get it shipped to you from New Riff. Or it might be in your area. Yes, online orders indeed. Not sure what their the actual distribution is going to look like, but I'm assuming that if you have it, if you have New Riff in North Carolina, you more than likely are going to see this release, or at least I would hope so. Marty from Whiskey Nose. Hello, Marty. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. It's good to have you in the chat. Whew. Another new release. This one just announced today as well. They have the barrels do 10 then? That would be awesome. It's funny, some companies will not ship to North Carolina like Bourbon Outfitters, but others will. Did you know that Sealbox doesn't ship in-state? They're out of Louisville, and they will not ship to Lexington. I get BT by the case with a friend. That's awesome. Shipped. Fantastic. Love that. Lux Row has announced a new Rebel, formerly of the Yell variety, 6-year-old bourbon. This is going to be another 100 proof wheater. 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. Lux Row Distillers announced the introduction of Rebel 100 6-year, handcrafted according to the original time-honored wheated recipe since 1849. It will be available nationwide later this month at a suggested retail price of $60 per bottle. Good. I feel like that's appropriate. Makes sense. And honestly, that's all we kind of have right now, information-wise. I wonder... What's going on with my mic? Hold on. I don't know. It worked. Whatever I did. I'd try that Rebel to see if it's worth it. 100%. I was such a big fan of Rebel 100 when it first came out. And this was in, what, 2020, 2021? Oops. Rebel 199. First release. 2019. Yeah. Dang. I didn't realize it had been that long that it's been around. But I am curious if that means that the 4-year-old version is going to go away entirely, or if this is just going to supplement the 4-year-old 100 that we have right now. It's not like there isn't any of it. It felt like when the original Rebel 100 came out, it felt like it was more limited than it should have been. I mean, I remember having to go like across town to a different store to be able to find it. And now, I mean, I was just in Liquor Barn today, and it was like spilling. It felt like it was spilling off of the shelves. So I don't know. I don't know if the enthusiasm for it has fallen off. Top Dog, what's up? Cheers, all. Cheers to you, too. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you in here. But, you know, with Lux Row actually distilling their own product, as they have been for the past few years, I'm assuming this is not part of the Heaven Hill stock that they was at 68, 20, and 12. Yes. Is that the Heaven Hill mash bill, Justin? For wheated bourbon? It might be. It could be that they just, you know, copied that formula, essentially, when they were doing their own distillation. Same as larceny. There we go. So, I mean, I don't want to put a tinfoil hat on or anything, but what I am assuming they did is kind of the same thing that Bullet did, right? Bullet started out sourcing from Four Roses. Eventually, they worked together to buy the label. Who did? Heaven Hill and Luxco? Anyway, what was I saying? Once Bullet moved on from needing to source, okay, gotcha. Moved on from needing to source, and they could finally do their own distillation. They followed basically the exact same roadmap that Four Roses does. 2 different mash bills, 5 different yeast strains, 10 individual recipes. That is true. That is 100% true. That no longer is Four Roses the only bourbon brand out there that's doing it. Bullet is literally doing the same thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the thing is, I mean, like, part of me is like, so you're just stealing But then the other part of me, like the more reasonable part of me, is going, well, they did what they had to do based on the flavor profile that people were familiar with, and they actually had to, like, the only way that they could reproduce this product in any kind of capacity would to mimic the process. I mean, like, that makes sense. I get that. But, you know, Four Roses was so sacred with their 10 recipe unique, you know, it was their thing. And now Bullet's doing it too. It's wild. It's crazy. That was kind of off topic. But the whole point being, you know, it could be that Luxco saw that. They knew people were going to be familiar with the profile that this mash bill creates, and they needed to replicate it. I mean, honestly, that's more than likely what happened. So, just my 2 cents for whatever the heck it's worth. Got a few labels to look at. Yeah, that's what I thought. Four Roses, limited edition, 2024. Really not much information other than the fact that they filed for the 2024 release. We do know it's going to be small batch again, of course. Nothing on age or proof. But yeah, it's moving. Heaven Hill Select stock, though. We've got plenty of information on this release. It's a 13-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey at 96 proof. Here's why I am excited for this one, and I'm curious about this one. This is almost, and it's not the exact proof, right? But this is us looking into. Oh shoot! I forgot to change my screen back over. Sorry about that. This is almost seeing the world that we could have lived in had Elijah Craig maintained a consistent small batch age statement of 12 years old. Of course, this is just a little bit older than that, but also we are seeing here what it would be like if our C923 Elijah Craig barrel proof were close to, it's not exact, but close to the proof of Elijah Craig small batch at 94. Again, this is 96. Oh, hey. Bottling date 10/15/2023. That's my daughter's birthday. If anybody sees this date, I mean 2023, she turned 3. But if anybody sees October 15th, let me know. I'm interested. Yeah, see? C923 Junior. We get a new Jack Daniel's 2024 special release. It is Coy Hill Barrel House 8. Now, when this first was revealed, when people first started talking about this, I noticed, and I think, I'm 100% sure this is just a placeholder. 80 proof and 40% ABV. Yeah, maybe placeholders. It's just nice to see, because the original Coy Hill was so good. Those single barrels were incredible. That was some of the best Jack Daniel's product we have ever gotten on the market. It's very cool to see that it's coming back, and hopefully, It will be more widely available, and we will be able to, because I never got a bottle of it. I only ever had samples. And then, last but not least, you see why we went for an extra hour tonight, folks? 56 minutes in, and I haven't even gotten to the fight. This is why we needed extra time to talk about the news. This is the label that I think I am the most excited for. Knob Creek Bourbon and Rye. It's basically a boo rye. 30% Kentucky straight bourbon, 9 years aged. 70% Kentucky straight rye, 7 years aged. 113 proof. Is that what's the normal proof on Knob Creek rye? The Knob Creek rye single barrel, I mean. Yes, I am older than 21. Goodness gracious. Why did I almost hit no? I think it's because I'm so conditioned to those websites that are like, do you want us to save your browsing information so we can sell it to other people? I'm so used to just immediately hitting no or dismiss all that I almost wasn't able to get onto a liquor website because I almost said I was not 21. Anyway, 115 proof. So it's not like a it's not a like midway point in proof between Knob Creek bourbon and Knob Creek rye. It's higher proof than normal. It's 113. You know, as far as like the small batches go. But, you know, as far as single barrels are concerned, it's just outside of the realm of normality, I suppose. But I think that's enough of the news. Unless y'all have something else that I've missed that you want me to chat about a little bit, cover. But I think that's quite a lot of news, and I really have not had a whole lot of bourbon so far. But we are approaching the normal stream time of 8 o'clock. So if you haven't poured anything yet, you're probably close to doing so. What is on your radar for pouring as we get to the top of the hour? I'll tell you what I've got. I got 4 beautiful, beautiful bourbons sitting in front of me. They are blind. They're not double blind, but they are blind. I don't know in which order these are in, but JW Dam Bottled and Bond, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, TW Samuels Bottled and Bond, and JTS Brown Bottled and Bond. Now, this is a stream that I'm sure this is not a novel idea, right? Plenty of people have done this budget Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond blind flight before. It's just something that it's common, right? I have not done this, though, in years. Like, literal years, I have not done this flight. This is also the first bottle of TW Samuels that I have bought in a very long time. I mean, it's been a hot minute since I've picked up one of these. But it first started Russell's here. That sounds nice, too. I might have some Russell's after the stream's over. Or after the flight. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what comes first. But on to Doc Swenson's. You know, I don't know. I have not had a whole lot of Doc Swenson's. Excuse me while I readjust my knee brace. But I have always heard good things about Doc Swenson's, though. It's just always kind of been just out of my purview. What am I gonna get? I don't know. Maybe I'll be adventurous and get a Doc Swenson's next time. Is that my Alexa? Alexa, clear my notifications, please. Cool. Don't even know what they were. Couldn't tell you. All right, so let's get into the flight. 4 of them, roughly about the same amount of whiskey in each glass. I'm going to try to turn away as much as I can from looking at the screen because I do have the little papers on the bottom letting me know what each of these are. Tony Bag of Donuts is in the house. Hi, Perry. Hi, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're having an excellent Thursday. So, Heaven Hill, Bottled and Bond, budget flight. Flight. I don't want to take Chad and Sarah's branding. Glass 1. I decided not to stream on Instagram tonight on on top of doing excuse me, Twitch and YouTube, because, well, for one, it's just kind of janky. It doesn't always look great, and it doesn't crop it to 9:16 instead of 16:9. So it sharing all the information that I did with the news, it just would have looked weird, I feel like. So, not saying that I am stopping the multi-stream that will also go to Instagram, but I don't know. It just didn't feel like it was a good night for it. This is very cinnamon forward. Cinnamon and caramel apple, for sure. Yeah, Justin, I'm excited for this this one. I just haven't done this in so long, but I'm looking forward to it. Did you all hit the like on your other accounts? Anthony asks a good question. Have you hit that like button yet? Have you subscribed to the show? Do you know about how you can support the show too? By using the Stream Elements link in the description below and tipping the show through that, through Snuffy Chats in support of Mr. Snuffleupagus back there. Which, if you do, your message shows up here at the top left-hand side of your screen. Did you know that? Bet you did, because you're smart. It's the one thing nobody can take away from me. It is an infallible truth that I will take to my grave. The viewers, the listeners, the supporters of TIMBP are smart. I would say the smartest. So there. I remember an episode with Curtis and Swan and this flight, I believe it was during those times. We recreated this. Okay. The very first episode of TIMBP, we did a flight similar to this, but it wasn't exactly this. It was because things have changed so much since then too. Heaven Hill 6-year bottled and bond. We had very old Barton bottled and bond in there, and I can't remember what the third one was. Maybe Evan Williams? I don't know. But I think we did a slight revival of it. I don't remember. Doc Swinson's exploratory cask, cognac finished. How is it? All right. I'm gonna get to the. I'm gonna drink this one. Little delicate, but not bad. Not bad at all. A lot of fruits coming through on this one, for sure. I informed you of T.W. Samuel's Bottled and Bond. Nice. Yeah, the first time I ever saw Samuel's Bottled and Bond was at Total Wine. And not long after that, I did an interview with Brad Williams, the single barrel manager of Total Wine, and Chris Edgerton, who's not there anymore. But I was saying how much I love T.W. Samuel's, and I would have rather shopped with Liquor Barn. And so if you see, Liquor Barn was not carrying T.W. Samuel's at that point. So if you see at Liquor Barn T.W. Samuel's, you are welcome. That was me. I was able to bring that to the Liquor Barns. Anyway, 109.3 proof, and the Doc Swinson's is yummy. Good deal, man. All right, moving on to number 2. A little bit lighter, grainier. There's a buttered popcorn note on there. Not a whole lot of age. I mean, they're all, 4 years old, pretty much. So I'm not anticipating just a massive oak bomb on the nose of any of these. A little bit of chocolate kind of poking its head out, too. All right. Oh, man. I had like a visceral reaction to that one. Man. It hit in like all the right places, dude. Peanut brittle. Snickerdoodle. If ever there were such a thing as a peanut butter snickerdoodle. Peanut butter brittle snickerdoodle combo. That's what I'm getting on the palate on this one. Ooh, that was good. Oh, that's delicious. Big fan. Big fan of number 2. Number 3, though. Y'all are quiet tonight in the chat. What's going on? Nobody wants to say anything? Is everybody okay? The State of the Union's not until 9. Drinking. That's completely fair. You know what? WP. Yeah, idiot. It's a bourbon stream. We're all drinking. That's not how you said it, and it's definitely not how I read it either. It just that cadence made me giggle. All right, number 3. We all know the State of the Union is effed. Fair enough. Hey, I'm making bourbon chicken with Maker's Mark cast strength kind. Okay. Hi, Emily. It's good to see you. Sorry, Pear Bear. I'm also playing a game. That's totally fine. Do whatever you want to. I watch plenty of live streams in... Oh, kind of. There we go. In the background. State of the Union drinking game. I can't, man. I can't. 3 is a little light. I would be unable to work tomorrow as well, WP. Just drink a beer. Just have a beer. And anytime there's applause, take a sip. Just take a little sip. Get a light beer. Maybe 2. Darren's working. All right. I'm sorry I shouldn't have said anything. I should have kept my mouth shut. I appreciate you just having me on in the background. I genuinely do. Do whatever the heck you want. Play video games. Work. Read comic books. Draw. Was there going to be an announcement of some sort? No? Is my frame rate dipping? No, I guess not. Do you mean like from me, Donnie? The only announcement I really had was that I'm going to be streaming on Sunday on Twitch. But even then, it wasn't really much of an announcement. It was just... I just wanted to stream longer tonight. And it worked out better for me to start at 7 than it did to run for 2 hours, like from 8 to 10. Okie dokie. Thanks, buddy. Can there... Oops. Can there be an announcement of some sort? I don't think I have... I mean... I don't really have anything to announce. We've talked about everything we need to with TIMBP weekend. We locked in the hotel. I signed the contract for it the other day. We've got our live show venue getting locked in right now too. Working on guests. Yeah, I mean... I don't know. I don't really have anything else. What's up, story time? Cheers, Pear Bear. Miss you. Miss you too, brother. Hope you're doing well. Three is definitely the lightest out of the ones I've had so far on the nose. Yeah, even lighter than 2. Which at first I thought was the lightest. 1 is actually the lightest. I take it back. They are all remarkably similar on the nose. 4 is different though. We'll get to 4 in a minute, but all very, very similar. Okay. A little melony. A little bit of melon on the nose on 3. Kind of honey-ish. A little bit of chocolate. Still kind of some like snickerdoodly thing happening. I always get snickerdoodle though with Heaven Hill products. Heaven Hill bourbon, rye bourbon. Man, I really had to qualify a lot of that. I have always gotten snickerdoodle as a note on Heaven Hill bourbon. Hello again, whiskey friends. Hello, Jeffrey Wack. Hope you're well. Good to see you. Hope you're having a lovely week as well. I'm also realizing because we have been streaming for an hour and 17 minutes, I have never made it this far in this lo-fi music playlist. I tell you, man, I love lo-fi. Gets me in the right headspace. All right. Number 3. Three is okay. Doing great, Perry. Still at work, but I have you all keeping me company. Good to hear, man. There's a lot of people who are working a little bit late tonight, it sounds like. But thank you for being here, Jeffrey. Love you, buddy. Hope you've been well. We need to chat soon, too. Three is my least favorite so far. It's the most... It's easily the like cleanest. It's easily the most it's just there's not a lot going on with it. It's not very deep. Wait a tick, I missed an hour of the live stream. I'm a bad friend. No, wait, that's a different podcast. Yeah, we started at 7 tonight instead of 8. Tony. But it was kind of a last minute announcement, so it's all good. But I covered a bunch of bourbon news that's happened over the past week. So there's still plenty of stream to be watched if you need to catch it. It's all good though. It's all good. I had like formulated the idea in my head, but I hadn't like said anything about it. I'm kind of considering moving the stream on Thursdays up to 7 o'clock and streaming for 2 hours. I don't know why. I think part of it is because I do want to just stream more. I don't know. Does that feel like something people would be open to? Starting an hour earlier and going longer than normal. I couldn't do 8 to 10. I couldn't do 8 to 10. Bedtime's around 9:30. So I would have to do 7 to 9. Love it. Love the idea. Okay. I'm not sure that it'll happen immediately. Hey, WP, $10 Snuffy Chat for the news. Goes directly to support TIMBP and everything we do, TIMBP Live especially. Thank you so much, WP. You rock. You're the best. You're the best. What should I drink next? You like the bat signal? I'll pop in no matter the time. There we go. I like the 7 a.m. start. You want me to start drinking at 7 in the morning, Joe? Joe. It's Jover. My day will be Jover before it even began. Start streaming at 7 a.m., man. Oh my God. Doesn't matter to me one way or another. Same channel, still all running at the same time. I watch them all no matter what. See, Sugar Kitty, that's why you're the guy in the chair. You are the designated guy in the chair. And we love you for it. 7 a.m. like the Aussies. The Aussies would probably prefer it if I started at 7 a.m. because then they would be able to watch it at their 7 p.m. I don't know if I've ever talked about this. So in Josh Cawthon, cheers all, making it in a little late tonight. That guy's sugar. Josh, hope you're well, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're hanging in there. When so in 2020, you're the donut guy. You're the donut boy. You're glazed. I like the 7 to 9 stream. I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. You know, on the off chance too, like it gives me more time to like be free with the format. Like if I want to do something different, if I want to have guests on, I can give them the option of, you know, anytime between basically 7 and 9, you can come on. There's so many I just think that it sounds good, you know? Heck, maybe I'll start at 6 and I'll just go for 3 hours. Now, I think maybe on the off, if I'm feeling squirrely, if I catch a wild hair, maybe I'll start even earlier sometimes. 3 hours of drinking bourbon though on stream. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to ask of a guy who's got a kid and is you know, he's needed elsewhere. Squirrely Perry. Sometimes I find needs to start the streams early. Miss Trisha's in my women's studies class. WP, how are you now? A wild hair? Yes. Finally going to move on to number 4 in this flight. They all smell so similar. They're so close to each other. What is that? Is that a haircut emoji? It is a haircut emoji. I need some sushi and sashimis. I did not get my haircut. I cut my own hair. I trimmed it up. I really, really needed to. Like, it's a little mullety. I'm not gonna lie. But it was so uneven. Like, basically, the way, if you were to look at my hair from the back, it basically looked like that, right? This is the longest part was on both sides of my head, and then the middle was way shorter than them, and it was just bugging me. And so Friday, before I went live to record this week's episode, I went upstairs and I trimmed my hair. I say trimmed. I cut a lot off. I cut inches off. And look, part of me does regret it because I'm not a certified salon technician. But it's okay. I mean, I want it to grow more evenly. But yes, I did trim my hair. And that's where we are. There is something oddly briny. No, Tony, I am not. I am not a licensed salon technician, unfortunately. I don't dislike the nose on 4, but I definitely like the other ones better. Yeah, it's just odd. I do play one on TV. That is correct, WP. I didn't know they had licenses. Yeah, you got to have a you go to barber school. My barber, at least, has his certificate on the wall. He wants to make sure you know that he did the work. He put in the hours. He did the daggum thing. But they do indeed have licenses. This is my beautician podcast, the new Perry stream. New for 2024. This is my beautician podcast. Have you ever wondered why the barber uses a 1 instead of a 7? What's the history of scissors? What's a brush really made of? We've got Master Barber. We've got hair influencer Ted Frillick on the podcast this week. Ted, your hair looks amazing. I've been going to a guy under a bridge for years. He's also my family practice doctor. Yeah, Dr. Barber. Do you guys know Dr. Barber? Does anybody understand who I'm talking about? Does anybody know the show Flapjack? I'll say this much. This guy. He was a doctor and he was a barber. See? Genuinely one of the best kid shows ever. Dr. Barber. Or Flapjack. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that beautiful animation. It was a weird show, guys. It was a weird show. It was so funny and fun. I loved it. Go watch Flapjack after the stream. You maybe do mushrooms before. Maybe. Just microdose. Don't go crazy. Don't you just hate practice doctors? I lose more body parts that way. Emily. Fact of the night. Barber poles are red and white because historically they were something. Oh, same? Is that same thing? Oh, okay. I thought that just said they were something. Historically, there was... He's not a stranger. He's my cousin. Yeah, I think I immediately have a least favorite out of all of these. It's crazy. I was not expecting that. But I'm going to go back through. See what's going on. Yeah, so if we do the 7 p.m. start time, I think I will try to make that first hour news oriented. Slancha, everyone. Slancha. Stacy? Good to see you, 4-Leaf Whiskey. Yeah, so if I move into the format that I used tonight, more than likely the first hour will be news, and then second will be more like review, flights, kind of fun stuff. Interviews, whatever. It is almost St. Patrick's Day. I'm very excited. The Advent countdown has begun. Barbers used to pull teeth and do bloodletting. The red and white pole symbolizes the bandages they would hang outside. Interesting. I always wondered what, like, specifically. And I think I knew that at one point. But that fact got, I don't know, pushed out so I could remember that by the time Link awoke from his, his time travel in Ocarina of Time, he was 17. Like, that's probably what my brain remembers now, instead of the fun, cool fact about how barbers used to pull teeth and do bloodletting. The red and white pole symbolizes the bandages they would hang outside. Instead, I know Link is 17 when he wakes up in Ocarina of Time after he pulls the Master Sword. Anyway, my countdown clock started on January 2nd. There we go. All right, 3 is immediately better than 4. I don't know about 2, though. 2 is better than 4, but I don't know if it's better than 3. Oh, Papa Ritter with the banger. I was an assassin and I had a job to do. Little did I know that girl was an assassin too. Great song. Underrated John Mayer song. 3 is Heaven Hill, Bottled and Bond. You know what? You might be right. You might be right, WP. I'm not going to bet anything on it because I don't do betting. Interesting. Yeah, it's fine. You messed the words up. Papa Ritter's here, though. Everybody say hi, Papa Ritter. Hi, Dad. So, Tuesday night, peek behind the curtain. Tuesday night is when we normally go to Mama and Papa Ritter's house for dinner during the week. And we didn't go last week. Oh, Tony with another banger. We'll live out in my old van, travel all across this land, me and you. God, that's a great song. But anyway, we hi, Papa Ritter, to the tune of the Macarena. I love that. We didn't go over to Mom and Dad's last week, and I just didn't think, oh, we'll pick it back up this week. Just for whatever reason, my brain was not working, and so I get done with work on Tuesday. I'm off at 5. And I'm like, I've got to take a shower. I needed to take a shower. I was going into the office, and I smelled bad. And so I was like, I need to shower. And I was just kind of piddling around afterwards. Eden was taking a nap, and we go to get Eden up, and Lucy's like, well, we're gonna go see Mimi and Dee. Mimi and Dee is what Eden calls Mom and Dad. She was like, we're gonna go have dinner with Mimi and Dee. I was like, we are? And so we were already like 10 minutes late. And I called Dad and I was like, hey, I didn't know we were coming over tonight. I'm really sorry. So we got there a little late. Why are we singing "Dead or Alive" by Bon Jovi? All right, I'm trying to get this ordered down between these 4. Oh man. Okay. All right. I must be very scientific with this. Strange women lying in ponds distributing swords has no basis for a system of government. Why are we quoting Monty Python now? The question should be, why aren't you? Fair enough. Strange women lying in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government. Help, help, and be repressed! I missed the reason for the early start time. You know, to be honest, it was really just kind of testing it out. But also I wanted to do news and a Bottled and Bond flight, since it's, you know, Bottled and Bond anniversary was on Sunday. So I just had a lot I wanted to get to. But also I'm considering starting at 7 from now on and running for 2 hours instead of 1. I'm not dead yet. I'm feeling better. I feel happy. Just for confirmation. Just for confirmation. Yeah. It's not even close. 4 is my last place. Yeah, it's weird. It's thin, but it's also like, why am I getting pickle juice on that, of all things? Bring us a shrubbery. We are the knights who say, Nick! We want a shrubbery. Brave Sir Robin ran away. No! It's just a wee bunny. One that's not too tall. You took a hit of pickle juice tonight. What are you doing? Why? Papa Ritter, what are you doing? That rabbit's dynamite. It's only a flesh wound. Your arm's off. I've had worse. When evil reared its ugly head, Sir Robin turned his tail and fled. WP, thank you for keeping it. Thank you for keeping it $1.50 and not not getting any of us in trouble on YouTube. I appreciate that. That is a great quote, though. It is a great quote. You know my favorite quote, I think, though, from Holy Grail? Is the king's got his son, and he goes, one day, this will all be yours. And he goes, what? The curtains? It gets me every time. Naughty Zoot! All right, so I'm going to give you the ranking for this flight, from last to first. Glass 4 is my least favorite. Huge tracts of land. Number 1 is coming in 3rd place. Number 2 is coming in 2nd place, and number 3 is coming in very first place. So I'm going to start out with my last place in this flight. Huh. Well, I'm sorry to everybody who buys T.W. Samuels, but that is my... in a blind flight, that is my least favorite out of the 4. Number 1, which came in 3rd place, is Evan Williams, Bottled and Bond. Perry had his wisdom teeth taken out back in high school, and he watched some of my favorite movies while he was all drugged up and couldn't talk. That was when I had my tonsils out. I watched Python. I watched Holy Grail for the first time. I watched The Right Stuff for the first time. And I watched, oh shoot, what was the Yellow Submarine. And that was the same, I saw Across the Universe for the first time. When I was zooted, dude, after I got my tonsils removed. It's okay. I was completely zonked, dude. And I was feeling real good. And I had heard about Across the Universe, and I was like, I want to watch it. I haven't had a chance to yet. And this was even early enough, or long enough ago, because I was 14, so 16 years ago, that we were still able to go to, I don't even know if it was Blockbuster. It might have been Blockbuster around then. Or maybe it was that little video rental place. That video rental place has since been it was demolished, and it's been replaced by a Kroger Wine and Spirits. So, in for a pound, in for a penny, I guess. Is that the right, in for a penny, in for a pound? Yeah, that's the correct one. Anyway, I was like, I really want to watch Across the Universe. I hadn't had a chance to yet. Yeah, we did rent a bunch of movies from Kroger. And so I was like, I really want to watch it. And I mean, that was another trippy movie when you've got your tonsils out at 14, and you're all doped up on painkillers. So, yep. Anyway, it was fun. That was a good run of movies that I watched. Also, Dad, I told everybody at the top of the stream. But I got a knee brace today. Tonsil meds, yeah. Make those tonsils feel better. All right. So, anybody who's catching up or was not listening, my last place was T.W. Samuels. Third place was Evan Williams, Bottled and Bond. My second place was JTS Brown. So my number one in this particular blind flight was J.W. Dant, Bottled in Bond. Your winner, folks, for this here blind Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond budget flight. It's J.W. Dant. Very interesting. I was not anticipating that. It's not that I was really betting that one of them. I kind of thought T.W. Samuels would do better than it did. And for so long I've said, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond is what I out of those, budget bottles, I thought was the best, just kind of overall. But I was more inclined to really pick up JTS Brown more than any of them. But Dant, I don't know. It has been a long time since I have had JW Dant. Oh, I mean, the most well-rounded. I don't think it's not the most affordable out of all of them. I mean, pound for pound, the most affordable is T.W. Samuels. $20 for a handle of 4-year-old Bottled and Bond bourbon. that is a deal that is unmatched in the whiskey business. Bring some over on Saturday? Yeah, I'll bring some over. But Dant is what, like $16, $17? $15, roughly. So, either way. It's good, man. I want to do... Oh, I forgot I was going to do a little blend of all four as well. I took much bigger of a sip of the Dant than I had intended to. But since it was the winter, I figured I had to see what I was doing. But yeah, at least as of March 7th, 2024. Blended, baby. Blended. As of March 7th, 2024, my winner in the Heaven Hill Bottled in Bond Budget Flight Fight is J.W. Dant. This is one of those that I always feel a sense of confirmation, I think is what the word I'm looking for when I go back to it, because I'm not trying to like prove my point, but it is nice to go back and like just revisit these bottles, because I mean, as much as I tout them and think that it's really they are just across the board some of the best values in bourbon. I'm still buying Turkey 101 more than I am any of these bottles. But they're all great drinkers, you know. What I really should have done, was put the Dant up again, just to see, out of curiosity. Put it up against the old Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, the 6-year-old that doesn't exist anymore. Man, I miss this. I miss this bottle so much. I do. Oh, it's not even close, dude. It's not even close. That would have just destroyed it. Any of them in the blind. The transportation that I just experienced back to the early days of the podcast. That was nice. That was different. Yeah, even the blend doesn't hold a candle to the 6-year Bottled and Bond. Folks, I think that's been a stream. Hour and 55 minutes. Been doing it. Daggone. So if you, and I'm strongly considering it, because I think this format just seems to work better, and it just is more engaging. to actually stream for this long. I don't know. It just feels more comfortable. I don't have to I can kind of ease into things a little bit as well. Yeah. WP says I like it. Hey, Mikey, he likes it. Ugh, my knee. I've been sitting for too long. That's the other thing too. If I switched instead of starting an hour earlier, starting 2 hours earlier, I seem more relaxed. I feel more relaxed. That's a heck of a stream, said my urologist. Thanks, Tony. Thank you for that. Anyway, that's the other reason I couldn't do like a 3-hour stream, I think, is I'd have to get up and move around. Ugh. I sit too much. I gotta get up. I sit for 9 hours a day for work. Just gotta get more active, you know? Just gotta be out there. Just gotta be doing stuff. I do feel more relaxed though. That always happens. That's the reason that we do, you know, when we record the podcast, we do a bonus episode before we do the pregame chats, and then really the pregame chats before we do the main episode. It's so that we kind of, Eric and I can get in our rhythm. We can ease into, you know, just creating content. I mean, like it's a very different mindset from sitting down at a computer and kind of mindlessly working for 9 hours. Not better or worse, just different. Everyone take a nice walk once a day. I need to do that too. Get my knee more stretched out. I'll tell you though, the brace really does help. It's stupid, but it really does help out quite a bit. All right. I've padded enough. I think we're going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for watching this this test run at a new format for TIMBP Live. Next week, I am assuming I will be back at my new regular time of 7 o'clock, an hour earlier. But in the meantime, go follow on social media at My Bourbon Pod. Wherever you are, I am as well. Go support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, there's bonus content that includes but is not limited to the pregame chats that come out before every episode, a bonus episode that comes out every Monday, and the uncut version of the podcast as well, which drops a day early for everybody who is at that $5 and up tier. Check out all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. Send us questions or comments to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to send us samples or bottles or anything, just mail. P.O. Box 22609, Lexington, Kentucky 40522. That is where you can do it. And that does it for me. Thank you all so much for watching, listening. I love y'all. Cheers. See you next week at the new time. At the new time. The new time of 7 o'clock. See you then. Until then, though, I'm Perry, and this has been TIMBP Live.